replacement migration shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And now Pop has heard me go off about this for years, all the way back to 2009 when I found the UN's program on the UN servers, and we were watching the first Africans walking into Europe through Germany, and nobody did anything. And I'm watching it, and I'm reading this population replacement migration documentation from the UN, and I told Pop like 4 or 5 times, it's coming here, man. It's fucking coming here.
And it did.
Pop had other shit going on in Popland at the time, so we never got around to really doing a proper show about it. But then we did, and then everybody knows it's going on. But finally, it's getting some proper reporting. Now, I don't know if you guys know who Data Republican is. She is a deaf woman. She's married, guys. Leave her alone. And at least 3 motherfuckers out there right now, at least 3 of you heard me say that, leaned into your freaking computer screen and went, well, is she cute?
Yeah.
She's married. Anyway, she's really smart. She's a hella good analyst, but she's been putting out all of the stuff that I've been putting out for fucking years, and that Pop and I did a whole show on a year ago, over a year ago.
Yeah.
Anything else, but we're going to go right into stage managed invasions, as Pop mentioned, immigration being weaponized. And I will run to the top of this page real fast for you.
Also, on a side note,
yeah,
this just isn't happening here in the States. It's happening in Europe as well.
It's happening in Asia now too. Korea is being overrun, and Japan. Japan's being overrun
which
too.
is bizarre. How immigration became a weapon in a hybrid war. It's really simple. The powers that be have enough money, enough resources, and control of all of the shipping lanes and all of the supply channels. They can move these illegal immigrants around without any problem at all. One of the ironies is the Middle Passage is now open, and we talked about that when we discussed the border 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The Middle Passage, of course, was how they got the slaves to and fro. Now, in recent years, the English Channel has become one of the deadliest routes. You can see here the sheer amount of mass immigration that's going on. These channels are consistent enough and have enough traffic going through them that this is not immigration. Immigration is a small group.
Yep.
Moves a couple of 100 miles, maybe, and sets up shop.
Well, back in the day, before we had all of this craziness, it was somewhat of a process to become a United States citizen.
There was quite a process to
Yes.
it. Yeah, there was absolutely quite a process to it until the 1964 Seller Act.
No,
You had to be from a basically white Western nation to be able to immigrate to the United States without some sort of compelling reason that we should let you in. And there
physically possible and economically feasible, instead of the bullshit the Democrats are selling you now is.
Wait a minute, look at the number on the wall behind you.
What is it?
541, dude.
541.
That's how long ago this was.
That was about over a year.
Yeah.
Vote for us, we'll give you free shit. They've never given you free shit. They've never improved anything in these blue hellholes.
That is correct. I'm seeing more and more chatter in the black community as well of some blacks coming to their senses and saying, we've been had.
Yeah.
They promised all this stuff all of this time.
Yeah.
There's another factor that I'm going to bring up that's going to get the istophobic reaction, but I don't care because I have multiple examples.
Okay.
The whole notion of dual loyalty and dual passports, that has to go.
Yeah.
That has to go. The most obvious one, of course, is you got a lot of senators who also have Israeli passports.
That needs to stop.
Loyalty, I don't care what you say. You have
So those particular individuals are unfortunately responsible for most of what's going on here. And we're going to switch back to Data Republican.
But stand by.
Fast. Standing by.
What you just showed there with all of that immigration, especially when it comes to the United States, was funded, in my opinion, by USAID.
No, that's where we're going with Data Republican. This is what she did that I didn't get to do. No, that's okay. That's okay. From the other thread, she's got more than one thread going on. Like I said, she is a sharp cookie. If you're not following Data Republican on Twitter or somewhere else, you really need to be. She's smart as fuck. The more I think about the screenshot from International Organization for Migration, the IOM, the more it disturbs me. I think the picture we had of migrants is of desperate people fleeing war-torn countries on foot. Bullshit. I don't think any of us thought of a refugee migration as a process which is coordinated and scheduled by NGOs, done with chartered flights. Who decides how to schedule the flights? Which countries decide to schedule them? Which migrants get these flights? It's human carpet bombing. I've been saying this for years, well over a decade. I've been saying this is human carpet bombing. The U.S. paid IOM $1 million for chartered flights of 12,000 refugees in 2006, but there were nearly 1 million Lebanon refugees total. How was that 12,000 chosen? They were the most radical, most dangerous young war-age males between the ages of 17 and 40. Don't believe me? Go fact-check that yourself. And what's more, the document seems to lay responsibility for reception arrangements on the country of origin and even seems to warn against returning migrants. All this strongly points to a globally coordinated effort, decades in the making, set up with an infrastructure to transport millions of, quote, refugees without any corresponding infrastructure for them to return home. That, ladies and gentlemen, would be the... I never shared the tab back.
It's okay.
It's okay. There we go. Anyway, that would be the UN's population replacement migration program. I've mentioned this numerous times. I've shared the link numerous times. Population replacement migration program. Go to archive.is to look that up. That's where you're going to find it. The UN took it off of their servers for all of the obvious reasons, mostly because they don't want us storming the building in New York and making it into an ashtray.
At some point, that will happen.
This leads to the conspiracy thought that if this infrastructure for mass one-way migration in place was done knowingly, then destabilization of the country of origin may have been intentional as well. That's just horrid for everyone involved, migrants and Westerners alike. Side note, the International Republican Institute gave IOM grants. So you do not have any friends, okay? This is all being funded with your taxpayer money. It's all been planned by the UN. It's all being carried out and coordinated by the WEF, and the ground soldiers, the foot soldiers in this are the NGOs. The money itself comes from, like I said, your tax dollars, but flowed through USAID, which has been shut down. Now they're going to be finding different ways to move this around. We saw this with an organization. Do you remember Acorn?
Yes.
Acorn was ostensibly this charity that turned out to be doing nothing but funding Democratic candidates. When people found out, all Acorn did was rebrand. They went quiet for 6 months, came back as something else.
Yep.
So what's best reason they would do this? Like the Steelman time, what were these NGOs hoping to accomplish? Asks one guy. Data Republicans responds with, I've stopped thinking rulers measure themselves by their kingdom's prosperity. Now I think they measure themselves by the extent of their control. People with family, homes, and wealth are sovereign. They'll fight to protect what's theirs, even if it means defying their rulers. People with nothing have nothing to lose and no reason not to fight their tyrant. That's one of the reasons we're being flooded with these human carpet bombs. The other one is to overwhelm the voting system, like your vote matters anymore. Get over it. Your vote doesn't matter anymore. I'm sorry. We're seeing that all over. It's coming up in several states, by the way. With this is exactly what I started talking about back in 2009, man. UN immigration. This is a list of ground transportation destinations. They're flying them into JFK. And from there, they're shipping them out to Allentown, Albany, Scranton, Hartford, Bridgeport, Binghamton, Baltimore, Newark, New Haven, Stamford, and so on and so forth. They just pump all of these people into all of these areas. They have lists that they're carpet bombing. What they're trying to do is displace the local population, which in the majority of cases was primarily white communities. Now, prior to the Hart-Celler Act of 1965, I've said this before, the United States was basically 92% white.
Yep.
This was a white country for the most part. Of course, you had pockets where you had a lot of blacks, or you had a lot of Native Americans, or you have a lot of Mexicans or Hispanics. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. A lot of countries do that. But we had a majority, and that was the base of the population. This program, this UN migration program, and here are the freaking receipts. This is where they're sending. They're pumping just masses of, and they're not immigrants, they're invaders. Masses of these invaders into our areas. Minnesota is Somalia now. The young guy with the bubble head, have you seen him?
Yeah.
That is being appointed mayor. Okay. Did you ever deal with any of that area, Somalia, Eritrea, that kind of thing?
I was never in Somalia.
I was never there either, but I got to work with two of the people who were there. A female officer who was in the talk during Gothic Serpent, and then one of the Delta medics ended up with our task force. And he was already out of Delta. He was, I think he was a bat medic, a ranger medic.
I do know that there's like 3 or 4 of the Rangers I served with when I was in 2nd Bat were in Somalia.
With the task force?
Yes.
Anyway, I got to talk to these people. The female officer, she was part of staff in a different unit I was in, but the Delta medic said, you got to understand, and I'm talking to this guy in 2002. He said, if one of them is in charge, it's because he's put there. Because he's the most aggressive, the most violent, the most convincing by way of most rounds down range. And that's how they choose their leadership. So this guy that's being installed in Minneapolis as the mayor, he is not a nice guy. This is, look at me. I am the captain now. That's what's going on here. He's, if not a full-blown warlord, this guy is definitely heading up something large in the Somali community and has definitely got the capability of violence, or he can deploy violence at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, well,
because
we'll see.
That's how they keep power.
That's usually how all tyrants keep power.
It's their culture. The Greeks wrote about it. I have seen letters from Greek traders that stay away from this particular part of the coast of Africa. And where they're indicating is what is now Somalia.
Yeah.
Which means these people have been violent for 2,500 years. The point I'm getting at is Minnesota was basically carpet bombed with Somalians. It used to be Norway. Minnesota used to essentially be Norway. It was mostly Norwegian and like Scottish immigrants.
Correct.
And now huge areas, the most populated areas, are all Somali. Almost overnight.
All right. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But,
well, it's part of the whole population invasion thing. That was, the episode that we put out. And hang on one second here. Let me see if I can find
population invasion.
I'm looking for a particular oh, that's
video.
right. You can pull up and select a specific spot. If it will stop doing that, do this for me. Okay. This is demographic categories by, am I sharing this tab instead? No, I'm sharing this tab instead.
Hang on. There we go.
What? There we go. Yeah. Okay.
Important piece of the puzzle. So you've got 2.5 million illegals flying through the border on us here. Now what happens? It's usually been the Mexicans for years and years and years. Illegals come across the border. You know what? Most of them aren't bad people.
No.
My best friend is Tex-Mex.
Uh-huh.
She's from Texas, and she married a Polak from Detroit. And they have like 7 kids. And They're good people. Most of the basic issue Mexicans are decent people. The ones that everybody thinks of that are the nasty ones that are the MS-13s and stuff, they're from Central America and the mountain areas, and you could tell because they've got stumpy limbs and they look like a potato. Danny
Okay.
Trejo is one of those.
Oh yeah.
For example.
Okay.
Yes, he's not a real Mexican at all. He's a Oaxacan or something like that. They're their own people. They just are. It's just they're their own people. That's how it is. It's always been that way. But then you get Northern Triangle is those South America or Central American states that I was talking about. And then all of a sudden, we start seeing around, there was always been a handful, but around 2019, all of a sudden we're getting more people from a historically atypical country.
Yes.
And then in 2022, look at those numbers. What do you see there?
I see an invasion.
Yep.
That's exactly what I see.
Yeah. That is 1 million from historically atypical countries. What does that mean? It means Congo. It means Yemen. It means
China.
Lots and lots of war-age Chinese males. Lots of Indians. For some reason, there's been an influx of Nepalese. I thought they kind of hung out in the mountains and
I don't know.
Sherpa'd on Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So the point here is this is coming across our Mexican border. This is what we were reporting on well over a year ago. And now it's like the point of interest for a lot of people. They're trying to figure out where it all came from. Data Republican has found the most information on it. The UN is the biggest coordinator for all of this stuff. And she has, you really need to go over and take a look at her stuff. She has posted just tons and tons and tons of material on, I need to hit the share this tab instead thing.
Yeah, there
on all of this. Yeah. She's a really sharp cookie. I wish I could coordinate with her and show her, because I've got all of the actual immigration stuff. The countries, the people, the numbers, the dates, all of that movement. She's tracked down the money, the organizations, and the controllers for it. So I'd really like to find a way to coordinate it with her on that. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It was what's the other one?
Yeah, because I sent a message to Data Republican and she never responded.
Yeah. I think she's pretty closed-mouthed about that stuff. I don't think she cares to coordinate with anybody.
That's fine.
She's apparently also very busy, and I know she's a mom as well. So, at any rate, this whole thing where we told you so, I mean, the DEI stuff, the immigration stuff, the stuff that's coming out about Obama right now with the Russian collusion thing and all of that. I'm trying to find the episode, and I don't want to do that while I'm sitting here in the middle of the show. You guys just watching me flip through files is no fun. But we covered that as well, and we outright said that there's no way that the Obama administration didn't know about the investigation of Trump and the corrupt FBI and Comey and Strzok and all of those other people who were in there just obviously making up stories or covering for Hunter Biden's laptop or covering for Hillary's bathroom server, that sort of thing. And now here we are. Who's Odney right now? What's her name? Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard just came right out and said that she's got all of these documents and everything, and it all rises to the level of treason. Well,
I hope they start going after people for that, because that's what needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We have to set a fucking example. This can never happen again.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. We really need to start. And one of the things that has to happen is people need to start calling for it. The mainstream media is very, very carefully keeping this out of the camera. They're going way out of their way to keep this out of the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, and because most of them have probably been paid off by USAID as well.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.